Welcome to Imam Ali's legacy for exploring the timeless wisdom of Imam Ali through the profound teachings of Nahjul Balagha. Our channel aims to shed light on the invaluable lessons and guidance imparted by Imam Ali, covering a wide range of topics including spirituality, leadership, justice, morality, and philosophy. Through detailed explanations, reflections, and insightful interpretations, we bring Imam Ali's words to life, helping you connect with his divine wisdom in today's world. Whether you're seeking spiritual growth, intellectual enlightenment, or simply a deeper understanding of the teachings of one of history's most influential leaders, this channel is for you. Join us as we embark on a journey of knowledge and inspiration straight from the sacred text of Nahjul Balagha. Subscribe to stay updated with weekly content, including sermons, letters, and sayings of Imam Ali, along with their meanings and practical applications in our lives.
Amir al-Mu'minin delivering a lecture from the pulpit of the Mosque of Kufa when Al-Ash'ath ibn Qays I objected and said, "O Amir al-Mu'minin, this thing is not in your favor but against you." You too, Amir al-Mu'minin looked at him with anger and said, 127, who is this Al-Ash'ath ibn Qays al-Kindi anyway? His original name was Modikab and surname Abu Muhammad, but because of his disheveled hair he is better known as Al-Ash'ath, one having disheveled hair. After the proclamation of prophethood, he came to Mecca along with his tribe. The prophet invited him and his tribe to accept Islam. When, after the Hijra migration of the Holy Prophet from Mecca to Medina, Islam became established and in full swing, deputations began to come to Medina in large numbers. He, too, came to the Prophet's audience with Banu Kinda and accepted Islam. The author of Al-Istiab writes that after the Prophet, this man again turned unbeliever, but when the Caliphate of Abu Bakr, he was brought to Medina as a prisoner, he again accepted Islam, though this time too his Islam was a show. Thus Sheikh Muhammad Abdo writes in his annotations on Nahjul Balagha, just as Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was a companion of the Prophet, Al-Ash'ath was a companion of Ali, and both were high-ranking hypocrites. How do you know what is for me and what is against me? Curse of Allah and other be on you. You are a weaver and son of a weaver. You are the son of an unbeliever and yourself a hypocrite. You were arrested once by the unbelievers and once by the Muslims. But your wealth and birth could not save you from either. The man who contrives for his own people to be put to sword and invites death and destruction for them does deserve that the near ones should hate him and the remote ones should not trust him. As say, Yidar, Bedi says the following, this man was arrested once when an unbeliever and once in the days of Islam. As for Amir al-Mu'minin's words, that the man contrived for his own people to be put to the sword, the reference herein is to the incident which occurred to al-Lost one of his eyes in the Battle of Yarmouk. Ibn Qutayba has included him in the list of renowned one-eyed personalities. Abu Bakr's sister, Farwa, daughter of Ibn Abu Quhafa, who was once the wife of an Al-Azdi then of Tamim ad-Dami, was on the third occasion married to this Al-Ash'ath. 3 sons were born of her, Muhammad, Ismail and Ishaq. Biography books indicate that she was blind. Ibn Abul Hadid has quoted the following statement of Abul Faraj, wherefrom it appears that this man was equally involved in the assassination of Ali, on the night of the assassination of Imam Ali. Ibn Muljam came to Al-Ash'ath ibn Qays, and both retired to a corner of the mosque and sat there when Hayr ibn Adi passed by that side, and he heard Al-Ash'ath saying to Ibn Muljam, "Abe, quick now, or else dawn's light will disgrace you." On hearing this, Hayr said to Al-Ash'ath, "O one-eyed man, you are getting ready to kill Ali," and hastened toward Ali ibn Abu Talib. But Ibn Muljam had preceded him and struck Ali with a sword. When Hayr turned back, people were crying. Ali had been killed. It was his daughter who killed Imam Hassan, has written the following, with poison. Al-Masyudi, his Hassan's wife, Yada, daughter of Al-Ash'ath, poisoned him while Muawiyah had conspired with her that if she could contrive to poison Hassan, he would pay her 100,000 dirhams and marry her to his son Yazid. Refer to Muraj al-Dahab, Vol. 2, p. 650. His son, Muhammad ibn al-Ash'ath, was active in playing fraud with Muslim bin Aqil in Kufa and in shedding Imam Hussein's blood in Karbala. Despite all these shameful stigmas, he is among those men from whom al-Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Al-Tirmidhi, Al-Nasai, and Ibn Majah have related traditions. Ash'ath ibn Qays in confrontation with Khalid ibn al-Walid at Yamama, where he deceived his people and contrived a trick until Khalid attacked them. After this incident, his people nicknamed him Irfan, which in the parlance stood for traitor. After the Battle of Nahrawan, Amir al-Mu'minin was delivering a sermon in the mosque of Kufa about the ill effects of arbitration when a man stood up and said, "O Amir al-Mu'minin, first you discouraged us from this arbitration, but thereafter you allowed it. We cannot understand which of these two was more correct and proper." On hearing this, Amir al-Mu'minin clapped his one hand over the other as a sign of sorrow and grief as well as helplessness, and said, "This is the reward of one who gives up a firm view, that is, this is the outcome of your own actions, as you had abandoned firmness and caution and insisted on arbitration." But Al-Ash'ath mistook it to mean as though Amir al-Mu'minin implied that Amy worry was due to having accepted arbitration. So he spoke out thus, "O Amir al-Mu'minin, this brings blame on your own self," whereupon Amir al-Mu'minin said the following with firmness, "What do you know what I am saying? Indeed, what do you understand what is for me or against me? You are a weaver, and the son of a weaver, brought up by unbelievers, and a hypocrite are you. The curse of Allah and that of all the world be upon you." Commentators have written several reasons for Amir al-Mu'minin calling Al-Ash'ath a weaver and a hypocrite. The first reason is because he and his father, like most of the people of his native land, pursued weaving cloth. So, in order to refer to the lowliness of his occupation, he has been called a weaver. The people of Yemen had other occupations also, but mostly this profession was followed among them. Describing their occupations, Khalid ibn Safwan has mentioned this one first of all. "What can I say about a people among whom are only weavers, leather dyers, monkey keepers, and donkey riders? The hoopoe found them out, the mouse flooded them 128, and a woman ruled over them al-Bayan wal Tabian vol. 1 p. 130, 128. This is a reference to the collapse of the famous Marab Dam, which was once considered one of the engineering marvels of ancient times. Its collapse, which is believed to have taken place between B.C. 650–115, caused the Arabs to migrate from Yemen and populate other parts of the Arabian Peninsula. The second reason is that Hioka means walking by bending on either side, and since out of pride and conceit this man used to walk shrugging his shoulders and making bends in this body, he has been called Hayek. The third reason is this. It is more conspicuous and clear that he has been called a weaver to denote his foolishness and lowliness, because every low person is proverbially known as a weaver. Their wisdom and sagacity can be well gauged by the fact that their follies had become proverbial, while nothing attains proverbial status without peculiar characteristics. Now that Amir al-Mu'min, in further argument or reasoning is needed, has also confirmed it. No, the fourth reason is that by this it is meant the person who conspired against Allah and the Holy Prophet, and prepared webs of which is the peculiarity of hypocrites. Thus in Was al-Ashia it is stated that it was mentioned before Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq that the weaver is accursed when he explained that the weaver implies the person who concocts against Allah and the Prophet. After the word weaver, Amir al-Mu'minin has used the word hypocrite, and there is no conjunction in between them in order to emphasize the nearness of meaning thereof. Then on the basis of this hypocrisy and concealment of truth, he declared him deserving of the curse of Allah and all others, as Allah, the most glorified one, says the following, "Verily, those that conceal what we have sent of our manifest evidences and guidance, after what we have so clearly shown for mankind in the book, they are those that Allah does curse them, and also curse them all those who curse such ones." Holy Quran 2:159. After this, Amir al-Mu'minin said, "You could not avoid the degradation of being prisoner when you were unbeliever, not did these ignominies spare you after acceptance of Islam, and you were taken prisoner, when an unbeliever, the event of his being taken prisoner occurred in this way, that when the tribe of Banu Murad killed his father Qays, he Al-Ash'ath gathered the warriors of Banu Kinda and divided them into 3 groups. He himself took the command over one group. On the others, he placed Qabi ibn Hani and Al-Kash'am ibn Yazid al-Arkam as commanders. They set off to deal with Banu Murad, but as misfortune would have it, instead of Banu Murad, they attacked Banu al-Harith ibn Qabi. The result was that Qabi ibn Hani and Al-Kash'am ibn Yazid al-Arkam were killed, and this man was taken prisoner. Eventually, he got released by paying 3,000 camels as his ransom. In Amir al-Mu'minin's words, "Your wealth or birth could not save you from either is age." Reference not to the real ransom money, because he was actually released on payment of the release money. But the intention is that neither plenty of wealth nor high status and prestige in the tribe could save him from this ignominy, and he could not protect himself from being taken captive. The event of his second imprisonment is that when the Holy Prophet of Islam passed away from this world, a rebellion took place in the area of Hadramaut, for repelling which Caliph Abu Bakr wrote to its governor Ziyad ibn Labid al-Bai Adi al-Ansari to secure allegiance and collect zakat and charities from those people. When Ziyad ibn Labid went to the tribe of Banu Amr ibn Muawiyah for collecting the zakat, he took a keen fancy for a she-camel of Shaitan ibn Hayr, which was very handsome and had a huge body. He jumped over it and took possession of it. Shaitan ibn Hayr did not agree to spare it and suggested to him to take some other she-camel in its place, but Ziyad did not agree. Shaitan sent for his brother Alada ibn Hayr for his support. On coming, he too had a talk, but Ziyad insisted on this point and did not by any means consent to keep off his hand from that she-camel. At last both these brothers appealed to Masruq ibn Madi Karib for help. Consequently, Masruq also used his influence so that Ziyad might leave the she-camel, but he refused categorically, whereupon Masruq became enthusiastic and untying the she-camel handed it over to Satan. On this, Ziyad was infuriated, and collecting his men became ready to fight. On the other side, Banu Walia also assembled to face but could not defeat Ziyad, and were badly beaten at his hands. Their women were taken away and property was looted. Eventually those who had survived were obliged to take refuge under the protection of Al-Ash'ath. Al-Ash'ath promised assistance on the condition that he should be acknowledged ruler of the area. Those people agreed to this condition, and his coronation was also formally solemnized. After having his authority acknowledged, he arranged an army and set out to fight Ziyad. On the other side, Abu Bakr had written to the chief of Yemen, Al-Muhajir ibn Abu Umayyah, to go for the help of Ziyad with a contingent. Al-Muhajir was coming with his contingent when they came face to face. Seeing each other, they drew swords and commenced fighting at Az-Zirkon. In the end, Al-Ash'ath fled from the battlefield and taking his remaining men closed himself in the fort of An-Najjar. The enemy was such as to let them alone. They laid siege around the fort. Al-Ash'ath thought how long could he remain shut up, the fort with the lack of equipment and men, and that he should think out some way of escape. So one night he stealthily came out of the fort and met Ziyad and Al-Muhajir and conspired with them that if they gave asylum to 9 members of his family, he would get the fort gate open. They accepted this term and asked him to write for them the names of those 9 persons. He wrote down the 9 names, but acting on his traditional wisdom, forgot to write his own name in that list. After settling this, he told his people that he had secured protection for them, and the gate of the fort should be opened. When the gate was opened, Z/sect FS22 as forces pounced upon them. They said they had been promised protection, whereupon Ziyad's army said that this was wrong, and that Al-Ash'ath had asked protection only for 9 members of his house, whose names were preserved with them. In short, 800 persons were put to sword, and the hands of several women were hopped off, while according to the settlement, 9 men were left, but the case of Al-Ash'ath became complicated. Eventually, it was decided that he should be sent to Abu Bakr, and he should decide about him. At last, he was sent to Medina in chains along with 1,000 women prisoners. On the way, relations and others, men and women, all hurled curses at him, and the women were calling him traitor and the one who got his own people put to sword. Who else can be a great traitor? However, when he reached Medina, Abu Bakr released him, and on that occasion he was married to Fawa.